From the east of spring's awakening breezes, to the south of summer's passionate heat, to the west of autumn's purifying waters, to the north of winter's regenerative earth, I open this reading by invoking the Muse. O divine Posy, goddess, daughter of Zeus, sustain for us these messages of inspiration. Make this reading live for us in all of its many bearings, O Muse. Hello, beautiful muses. Welcome back to Cosmo Muse Tarot and a new reading. In this one, I am feeling, it's been this day where I've been having so many just really powerful downloads in the stars today. The planet Uranus, which likes to bring sort of shock and revolution and new sort of impulse shocks and inspirations to us to kind of step outside of our box, shake things up, is meeting up with the North Node, which is kind of a new sense of direction and destiny, as well as with Mars, which has some similar connotation to that North Node. It has some energy and drive and passion. So this concoction of these three things meeting up, it's just really, I don't know, for me personally, it's just really been productive in terms of bringing what's felt like sort of urgent and inspired messages. So I really wanted to tap into that today. I had sort of a different reading plan, but just seeing what happened this morning, I wanted to tap into this. So I've thrown together a reading where we're going to use initially some tarot with astrology to see what kind of download Spirit is trying to give you, some new insight, inspiration, an urgent message, whatever it is that Spirit's trying to give you. And then we will also look at some oracle cards at the end, and then one of those in particular, using that to bring up some sort of encouragement and inspiration from the muses. So we have 4 piles today. We've got pile 1 with this sort of green, more green colored turquoise, a turquoise on the closer to the green spectrum. Pile 2, we've got a green calcite. It's got a little bit more blue in it than the greenish turquoise, and then we go to a turquoise that's more true turquoise, a little bit more blue, like a lot more blue quality to that. It's kind of hard to see in this lighting. Doing my best here. And then pile 4, going straight into blue. We've got some Lapis Lazuli. Ooh, whoops. To share with you guys. So this is a great place if you have your own process with picking cards to pause and tune in. For those of you that like the breath that I lead, I will be doing that now. So take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, putting some pressure on that space between the brows. Suck in even a little bit more air to just amp up that pressure, and then do a big loud exhale with an and opening that crown chakra, inviting in these downloads, the inspiration coming in today, and also tapping into higher self. So for those of you that need a little more time, pause here. Otherwise, jump straight to your reading, and the timestamps in the descriptions will have those, where you can just skip straight to your reading if you're not number 1, and I will see pile 1 up next. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your tarot reading. Trying to get some clarity, understand an urgent message, download, inspiration that Spirit is trying to gift to you, or just to help you understand in terms of something that's going on right now. If this is you guys, you picked the more green tinted Turquoise. And the tea leaf cards we're going to save till near the end. So I'm just going to put those up here. And to start out, we are going to do both some tarot and some astrology dice to kind of hone in on what this message has to do with. So I'm going to pick from this tarot deck that is just based on the major arcana to really get the most aligned kind of category substance of what this message download is about. Okay, so the Emperor, something coming through about sort of taking charge, creating order, really kind of taking on some big responsibilities maybe. And then we're going to roll the astrology dice to see in what area of life and kind of qualities, etc. this might have to do with. Yeah, so Aries and the Emperor are very aligned. 10th house and the Emperor makes sense as well. And then the Moon. So this is like a very new course for you, some new pioneering aspect of you is coming forward, being asked and being shocked and being inspired, maybe downloads coming through around stepping into a major leadership role, and one that really needs someone with qualities of initiative, with forward thinking, with even a little bit of, I'm not saying that you're a selfish person, but what's being asked here of you is to be somewhat single-minded and focused, and not, it's always good, of course, to listen to the people you're working with or that you work for, but there's some insight you have where you need to sort of take outside advice with a bit of a grain of salt. It's sort of like you're really keyed in with a vision right now that's very practical and reality based, and it needs you to stick to your guns on something, because in the long run, this is something that's really going to sort of bring nourishment and nurturing to whatever this role. I feel like this is a role in the world, kind of career-wise, that's coming up, that's being kind of awoken, a shocking message about this, a download that's inspiring, whatever it is. It's sort of like you're stepping into a role of leadership, and you have a vision that you need to stick to your guns on no matter what other people are saying. And they'll see pretty quickly that the vision you have, it's not, even though you're sticking to your guns and maybe not listening to outside voices and feedback, very quickly they'll see that you have the nourishment and nurturing and hearts of those you affect really deeply in mind, the public. You're really sticking to your guns in order to benefit those that are affected by what you're doing, whether it's people that work under you or the public facing that is affected by what you do, or client base, so but really being asked to stick to your guns on whatever sort of vision, leadership, foresight you're having right now, and to really trust in your instincts and trust in that vision that you've got. Okay, we're gonna do a few more tarot cards to just unpack this a little bit more. Wow, yeah, this is definitely a new chapter, a new phase coming in. Really exciting. again, really exciting is exactly right. Knight of Wands coming up next. I'm just going to pull 3 more and then we'll unpack them all. Wow, some powerful cards, you guys. Jeez, okay. Wow, gorgeous. Yeah, you really do. You have an eagerness. This has the potential to move very quickly and expand very quickly. So there's some energy, some enthusiasm, some passion really coming through you right now. So harness that, get focused, and charge. I mean, this is just like, this is the green light. I love that with the rock. That's what's coming through. You're getting like this major green light in terms of taking on this leadership role and a vision you have that will really bring a lot of nourishment to, whether it's to people under you or the, you know, clients or public at large, whatever it is. It's, yeah, you've got a vision that you really need to just move forward with. And it's really tapped into your higher mind. Yeah, you're really, these downloads are partially just coming from your higher self and like really tapped into your soul, because we see that Ace of Cups. I like that Ace of Cups with the Lovers. To me, it's like, yeah, inspired messages from higher self that have been sourced in your soul. You're just like something that's just so aligned to you, to the world, like you're just in sync with your idea, your role, your whatever this download is that's coming in, that's asking you to step into a leadership role is yeah, being sourced straight from your soul and your higher self. So it's so aligned, which is allowing that Knight of Wands energy to just charge forward. And there may be another person in your life that has a lot of really wise counsel, specifically around how to ground this, how to materialize it. So there is, I'm going to say, because I said earlier, like, you know, take outside advice with a grain of salt. If there's someone around you, like an accountant or someone with a feminine presence that just really knows how to materialize things and is really good with the material world, that's one person that specifically around financial issues or material issues has very aligned advice and support for you that really connects into whatever your vision is, whatever is coming from your higher self and your soul. They're in sync with this as well, but specifically in the material realm. If they're giving you like creative advice or wanting to interfere in other ways, really limit that advice to just specifically financial, material, giving weight to that, what's said there. Beautiful. Okay, we are also going to look at the Seed and Sickle deck to see, getting clues from the cycles of nature of like some sort of growth process that some aspect of the cycle of life in nature that has a message here that can really be helpful. Okay, and I'm going to read from the guidebook from this. So we have Clematis, which is one of my absolute favorite flower vines. And it's in the reverse position, so it will have a dusk versus a dawn message. Okay, so I'll just turn to it. Okay, you've been holding odds. Ooh, excuse me. Bubble in my throat. You've been holding on so tightly to your control of the world that your fingers are starting to ache. But here's a thought. How about you try letting go? Not everything needs to be controlled, and you may find that you've put enough safeguards in place to be able to support yourself even without clinging on so. You'll naturally want to resist the feelings of falling, but you may find that a fall isn't actually coming. and that is and that it feels good to let go. So that clues me into that whatever is getting the green light right now in terms of sort of this leadership position, it's something that you've had a lot of thoughts about, had a lot of energy already put into. It's maybe already been in your psyche, in your consciousness, and a lot of like effort, desire, longing, wanting, really kind of bundled up around this. But suddenly it's like something's clicking right now where you don't have to try so hard, and all of a sudden it becomes more natural at this moment. And so this is the advice that like you've kind of gone through your toughening up phase in this, the learning curves, the whatever it is, and it's time to just like trust yourself more and run. So holding on to control right now will really hinder that Knight of Wands energy, that ability to really push this forward. So to me, I think you're already in an Emperor phase, or like kind of archetypally have that or in that role, but like a new chapter is coming with it where something's clicking, where it just becomes a little more integrated in you, aligned in you, trusted in you, where you can suddenly let go and just trust your experience and wisdom and capabilities, and just really let things expand and surrender into sort of more natural, passionate, eager movement of things. So yeah, that's really exciting. So I think this is something you've really wanted, but you've maybe had to go through your courses to really integrate this archetype into you. But it's time that you can really trust this, that 10th house, it's solidified in you, and you can trust yourself to just fly, just fly, really. Okay, and then I want to use the Moon Oracle to get another, maybe a cosmic cycle of life. This is sort of an Earth cycle of life message, and this is more of a cosmic cycle of life message. Let's see. There's 3 types of cards in here, and there's one specific type I'm looking for, and I should have sort of weeded them out to their own pile, but we'll just pick until we get one of those. Yeah. Here we go. So it sort of has to do with the elements and moon phases. So yeah, gibbous, waxing, earth, moon. That is exactly the phase of the moon for heightened connection, a lot of growth. It's sort of the apex of spring when things are blossoming and the birds and the bees are really pollinating things, and it's a lot of rapid expansion that is leading to fruitfulness. But yeah, it's an eagerness, there's a passion there, there's expression in this. And then in the earth quality, this is something financial, and it makes sense seeing this Queen of Pentacles coming up, that it is for whatever reason incredibly important. So this is something very financially based, or that has financial promise to it. And so the key here is like really open up to connection, to also, really allowing your expressiveness to come out in relation to materializing things, in relation to what your values are, in relation to some sort of financial goal. And then we've got ambition as the keyword here, which, couldn't align better with the Emperor and the 10th house coming through here. So yeah, it's just like, embrace the ambition you have right now. There's so much growth energy around it, and you need to just like kind of let go and trust that you've really integrated the archetype of the Emperor within you, and you can kind of unleash it and not be so kind of controlled and careful about it. Just like, yeah, just let it fly, you know. Okay, and then we're gonna get a message from the Priestesses of Light, some sort of blessing coming through. Yeah. I love that. Bright heart, light, open connections. Yeah, you guys, there's the right doors, the right contacts, the right something, circumstances, environment is coming through, and you need to stay, you know, we have this very greenish turquoise, and you know, green is really connected to the heart chakra. We're seeing it in this waxing earth moon, and then we have bright heart, light, open connections with the heart. It's just like really stay connected to your heart. We have that alignment with the Lovers, and a deep source of connection with your soul, and all of it should be kind of settling in your heart, and so letting your heart kind of open up, be easier, be more warm and generous, and just like that passion, letting it really unleash and fly free. Beautiful. Okay, let's look at these tea leaf messages that came. Purse, pay attention to your finances. Yes, there's someone here, whether they're male or female, but they'll give off more of a nurturing quality around money. There's the exact advice, the person with the exact advice you need around the material, some material aspect here is completely available, in sync with what your vision is, and ready and willing to be there to help or be part of this. They seem very integrated. Great. Time to go out and have fun. That expressiveness with the gibbous moon. Sometimes a balance of work and play. That play can bring just the right inspiration we need. If we are so controlled and overworking and stressed, sometimes that shuts down the kinds of ideas, openness to connection, ideas, whatever coming in. So it's like part of the letting go and trusting in this archetype to really push forward is to have a little bit of fun, to find that balance, because there's something in that fun and that getting out and socializing that's really going to be, you know, an inspiration to whatever it is you're doing here. And then shield, you need to defend yourself. And I think that goes back to what I was saying in terms of having tight boundaries around your vision and not letting a lot of people influence. I don't know why that came up for me, because it wasn't necessarily, it was sort of like a weird thing that just sort of channeled through. It wasn't really in the concoctions I saw. It just came out, and I was like, okay, so it's coming. But I really feel like a lot of people are wanting to meddle or influence whatever this leadership vision is you have. And outside of that financial advice, keep very tight boundaries on this, and really follow your inner guidance in your heart, and protect that. So beautiful. We're gonna look at one more message from specifically the muses. They want to bring some sort of just light, simple inspiration to you from the our feathered friends. Okay, Kingfisher, prosperity is flowing. Have faith that you will receive it in the perfect form. Yeah, trust the universe, trust yourself. Trust that things are, the passion you feel, what you're feeling in your heart, something is really flowing here, and just let go of control with this, and just let that passion lead you forward. Beautiful. All right. This is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this message resonated, the thumbs up is super helpful for my little algorithm a new channel. I really appreciate those. And I definitely love to peruse the comments here and there. It's fun to see specific things that may have jumped out to people. And definitely be sure to subscribe if you aren't yet. I love all of my people that come here and read, and I love reading for everyone and anyone. So please subscribe. All right, see you guys in another reading. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading all about an urgent message trying to reach you, whether it's from spirit, guides, your higher self, the muses, what some message is trying to get you to download in you that's quite urgent, whether it's to bring you inspiration or give you some advice about something that's important right now. We'll just see what comes up. So if this is you guys, you picked the green calcite, one of my favorite little, just a small rock I own, but I just love it. And then we are going to read the tea leaves a little later in the reading, so I'm just going to put those up here for now. So to start out, we are going to choose one card from the major arcana in the tarot to help us sort of align with what this message has to do with. What is the main highlight, the main bullet point here to know about from this deck is specifically just the major arcana from a beautiful, the beautiful artwork from, I can't even remember the name, but it's a Spanish artist that did these. So we're going to pick, oh, I love this. You guys got the star. So just inspiration in general is really trying to come to you, a new hope, a new vision for your future, something really, really lighting you up, really giving you a new spark in life. We're going to roll some astrology dice to hone in a little bit more about qualities, areas of life, that kind of stuff that this might be pertaining to. Wow, South Node, Sagittarius, and the 7th house. Some karma, some relationship stuff happening, but like seeing some new sense of freedom here, a new vision, or like a target, a new aim. Yeah, there's something that you're feeling, or that's at least trying, if you're not already feeling it, that's trying to get to you, a download's trying to get to you about a new feeling of freshness and hope in relationship, around like some karma that's maybe been dispelled, some karma that you've sort of crossed off the list, which is sort of opening the door to seeing things more expansively, to finding a fresh sense of freedom. Like maybe you're setting off, maybe you and a partner, maybe it's karma you and a partner have together that's kind of been dealt with, that's kind of kept you sort of in a certain boundary that you've really been wanting to push outside of, and it's sort of like you've crossed off whatever that karma is, and the world is opening up to you, a new target, a new something that you're pushing yourselves outside of your comfort zone. If you're single, this may be, finding love abroad or meeting a exotic stranger, that from a different land that has landed where you live. But there's some new refreshed hope coming in your relational sphere. You've crossed something off, and it's time to find a little bit of freedom, to push your boundaries, to get out of whatever this kind of construct you've been in terms of whether you've been in that with a relationship or you've struggled with relationships because you've been in some kind of construct that you've really struggled to get out of, and it's because there was some karma that was needing to be dealt with, but it's done, and the world is opening up in terms of how you relate with others, relationships, love, just a new sense of hope, new visions coming in. It feels very alive and exciting. So let's pull a few more tarot cards to hone in a little bit more on what's going on here. Four of Wands, a celebration. Some of you maybe have been wanting to get married or settle down or find a home with someone, and there's something to celebrate here. Whether it's a new home, a marriage, just in general finding somebody that feels like a miracle, but there's celebration and community here. So maybe even getting out more with you, going to parties, going to celebrations. Could, if you're single, that might be somewhere where you meet this, foreign feeling type person that is very exciting. Okay, 9 of Wands. Let's pick the rest of these and then we'll unpack it all. I always get a little ahead of myself and want to interpret each card as it comes. Okay. One more. This one looks to come out. 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Okay, so even though you have kind of crossed this karma off the list, whether it's karma in the unit you're in with a relationship or karma around relationships in general, don't forget the lessons you've learned. You do need, there's things you are still sort of processing and downloading about what you've been through in the relational realm, and it's really worth reflecting on this and really integrating those lessons, because we do have free will, and even if the universe and our spirit guides and our higher self is opening up a lot of beautiful new opportunity and refreshed hope in something, if we really haven't processed the past properly, we can still trip up. And so this is not a big warning. It's just a little thing of like, you're still processing some of that past and integrating it. And that's a process, so be patient with it. So even if something new is coming along and you and your partner are kind of pushing outside of old boundaries, or you're meeting new people, don't forget what you've learned. Really, writing is such a huge tool for integrating things and really recognizing what's down in our soul and our subconscious. Just write something about what you've learned in the last several years about relationships. And that will just help it process and will help you become more conscious of not doing something again that's part of what you've really learned and crossed off your karmic list. So just like a little thing. It's but big things are opening up to you. It's just like, don't forget the lessons you've learned. And then we're seeing so much beauty around finances going on. Finances are really moving. You're finding something about your sovereignty, but there's an anxiety in you around finances at the same time. And there shouldn't be. This is something, maybe your finances have gotten in the way of you feeling free or open with a partner, or you've had burdens from a partner in finances, and that might be something that still, I think this is what you're still processing, is like there's been some financial things that have really, whether they were your financial things or a partner's financial things, that was really part of this karmic work that's made you struggle to feel your sovereignty in some way. but you're done with this. So you're processing it still, so there's still a little bit of anxiety about it, but just know that like what's coming next, as long as you've really integrated things you've learned and maturity you've gained, you're going to move past this, and you're really going to find that sovereignty that you desire, to be in a relationship but some sort of independence within it, or some sort of sense of who you are outside of the relationship, especially financially, is coming in a much more beautiful way, but you're still a little anxious about it. But don't worry, because what's coming is so much more than being sovereign in your material world. There's something that's coming in that's much bigger than you financially. This is huge, and in this, it's almost like I'm seeing a partnership, but also, excuse me, some bubbles came up, outside people, family, kids, dogs. And it's not saying you have to have a family, but there's like, there's movement, there's community, there's so much is coming in to really circulate something financial in your life that moves you past just being concerned about your own financial position, and into really understanding the flow and the support, and how much your abilities can help your own community, how much your own sovereignty can benefit everybody materially. So yeah, you're moving out of like personal financial concern into like really understanding community and support in a financial way, and really getting values moving for everyone, not just yourself. So something in, and it might have something to do with partnerships, with love, with and this could be business partnerships. The way this finance stuff is coming in for some of you, this may be business partnerships where you've struggled to find correct partners due to financial things, but suddenly it's like the right circumstances come and the right partnerships come, and it's not so much about your finances in relation to what you're doing or this partnership, but it's about what you're doing in general that really helps a community and a people thrive, not just yourself. And so yeah, it's just give it a little bit of time. I think right now you're still processing some personal anxiety about personal finances, but you're a step away. You're just a step away from this relational stuff, moving past like thoughts about your position in a relationship materially to your relationships really being able to pulse something in community and material aspect of life that's just more thriving, more abundant, more exciting, getting out of your own way kind of thing. And yeah, it's like switching from thinking about yourself to just thinking within a relationship, to thinking how a relationship can benefit so many by teaming what you have, your assets together. And it doesn't have to be financial assets, but something about what you're teaming up in your assets really is pumping something into community. It's beautiful. So it's really cool. Okay, we are going to turn to the seed and sickle to get some messages from the cycle of life in nature. How can we relate to some sort of cycle of life in nature in terms of what's going on right now for you in this whole story? So we've got the Rowan, and I'm going to read from the book for this, and it's upright, so it's a dawn message versus a dusk message. Okay. Okay, so rowan trees are seen as a symbol of tenacity, capable of growing in the tiniest crevices and cliff sides and rocks. You've been doing a lot of the same recently, growing well in spite of the uncertain ground you stand on, and your determination will pay off once you realize you've got an advantage over those who've had an easier path. It's easy to envy others for thriving, but give yourself credit for having thrived in adversity. Yes, there's something you've gone through. You haven't had the leg up maybe that some of the people around you have had. And so you've had to go through more challenges. And I think especially in a financial way, which has made you maybe, some sort of block there around relationships because of that. But because you've learned how to thrive in less than ideal conditions, once you're given the right soils where they are ideal conditions, the way you can grow is unparalleled. The people that you've seen thriving can't compete with the way you're able to grow because you've really, really developed character and strength and resilience and focus and toughness. And so what's coming are these better soils, and so you're moving from having to grow in something that hasn't felt right into new soils where things all of a sudden just become easy. And it's hard to say, and I think it's a little different for all of you, so I don't want to get too specific here, but there's something about this with relationships, and there's something about this with material life. Interpret that as you will, because I do think it's a pretty wide variety, since this message has felt a little general in terms of how relationship and how finance are interacting here. Okay, and now we're going to look at the moon cycles and elements to get from the cycle of life a message from the cosmos, from our cosmic bodies. Last quarter, waning earth moon principles. And I think this is what is coming through to me here. And this last quarter moon phase to me has a lot to do, has a deep correlation to the 7th house and to the south node, which also have deep correlation. Is you've really come into yourself, into a sense of fullness. And so it's time to allow exchanges and partnering to happen, and letting go of full control over something, and allowing others to take up some of the load. And but having also come to terms with and learning how to cooperate, compromise. And I think you've developed a lot of, this is an earth moon, so again, we're talking about the material world, a lot of elegance in knowing how to share, and knowing how to exchange, and knowing how to kind of release some sort of control. And there's something about this and that thing you're clicking into here with allowing others to be a support, with allowing partners to come in, and not feeling like you have to hold the whole of everything, or be good enough in every category. It's sort of let someone else come in and let their good assets and your good assets mingle and see how they work together. And you're fine. Something's clicking here with that principle of cooperation, and how that really can expand your life and make things easier in the process. I think what it is you've gone through a cycle of really having had to come into your own sense of wholeness, that 9 of Pentacles, that self-sufficiency, doing everything by yourself, being productive, being of service, being helpful, but sometimes being taken advantage of. And it's clicking. You've reached a new threshold of like, oh, if I let go of control of it being completely self-sufficient, but I've gone through all these challenges and I know I'm have a self-sufficiency that I can lean back on when I want to. It like gives you the confidence to let go a little and mingle with partners that can share half the weight of something, which really opens things up to expanding, to going in bigger places, opening bigger doors, pushing your perceptions and boundaries, and it's really helping your finances in some way. So that's really gorgeous, really gorgeous. Okay, we are now going to look at your tea leaf messages, little fortunes coming through. Cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. I think that's where you're coming from, but that says to me that the star is either totally new, like the day you're watching this, or is coming in like immediately, but you've come from a place of like, yeah, just overburden, overworked, exhaustion, hitting a wall, feeling no inspiration for anything, just nothing, like nothing feels exciting. But all of a sudden there's this, it's like something integrates in you and you like get something and you start sharing the load, and it's like inspiration and renewed hope is just around the corner. But I think this is like currently when you get this reading, it's like you've either immediately just barely come out of this dissatisfaction with life, or you're on the precipice, like a day away. Empty, or chair empty, someone is leaving your life. Okay, so for some of you, maybe, yeah, there may have been some financial hardships that have been a strain in relationships, but there's something new coming here. But you need to push your boundaries. You need to get out, go to celebrations, go to different things, because when someone leaves, it leaves room for someone else to come in, and I think that's a good case, or a good omen in this scenario. I think someone very positive is really ready to step into your life, but room needed to be made. So just keep that in mind. And then the last one, great happiness. And that's what I feel, this renewed hope with the star card, past troubles with the relational realm and your personal sovereignty within that. You're kind of like, yeah, kind of getting out of this mode, seeing things differently, shaking it up, expanding how you relate to others. And it's like, yeah, something clicks where you're just bringing in the right personal energy to attract the right energy in another, and it's like beautiful unions coming that gets you out of concern for your own self and really pulsates something into community, the way that you guys are able to combine your energies, and it brings great happiness. So beautiful inspiration coming through in the end here. And then we're just going to get one more beautiful, just simple inspiration from the muses passed on through our feathered friends, but they want to bring you some inspiration through a bird. And we have the grouse. Embrace the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance. And that's the inspiration coming through. You need to get out. You need to find celebrations to go to. It's currently, as I'm recording this, and you may watch it at a totally different time, but it's summer and there's, so many, like community events that happen, celebrations, seasonal celebrations, harvests. Get out there, find out what's going on in your community, get out, touch life. There's something in that movement and getting out and mingling that's, integrating this new understanding in you and really shifting your relational energy, coming from a higher place, really accessing something from your higher self that just reorients you and brings a renewed sense of hope here. So beautiful. This is where I'm going to leave you guys. I love this message. Just so much good coming up and ahead for you guys. So stick in there if you're still in this moment of dissatisfaction or something leaving. You're days away from that just being shaken up. This, this reading feeling inspired by this Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction. It does tend to blow up an aspect of life, but then immediately renewing hope and giving fresh eyes and insight and inspiration and just ahas and sparks. And so if you have not already felt that, it's like within 24 hours, wait for that. A spark is coming here and it's beautiful. All right. So if this reading resonated for you, if you enjoyed it, I definitely appreciate the thumbs up. It helps me a lot. Makes me aware of which readings also you guys are connecting with, and, helps in so many different ways. And I definitely also love reading comments. I try to peruse those about once a week to download little things that specifically were interesting. And if you're not subscribed yet, I'd love it if you would. I love reading for everyone and anyone, and it's just really fun to do these collective readings. You reach so many more people than just individual ones, and it's something I connect with that really deeply, and I love it. So, all right, I will see you guys in another reading. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading, all about an urgent message trying to get to you from spirit, from muses, from your higher self, whatever. There's just something that's trying to download in you with an urgent message that either wants to key you into some circumstance in your life, bring some new awareness, some downloads to help you process it, or bringing you just new inspiration in general. Okay, so let's dive into this. And if you guys picked this pile, this was your rock, kind of the more blue quality turquoise, just so beautiful. And we are going to read these tea leaf cards a little later in the reading, so I'm just going to leave them up here for now. So to start the reading, we are going to pick from this major arcana specific deck, this beautiful artist from a Spanish artist. Just one major arcana card to hone in on sort of the category this message has to do with. What is the main bullet point? And then we're going to do some astrology dice with it to kind of bring in more force, strength. So the force is the strength card. And I love this particular one because instead of a lion, it's a tiger, which to me is much more lunar and feminine, and talks to me much more about this mysterious force of the yin and the wild force of the yin and the darkness and the fertility and richness of that. So there's something in you, a message trying to download, having to do with like really getting in touch with your more instinctual, intuitive, mysterious forces within yourself. Okay. Let's roll some astrology dice to hone in a little more about this. Okay, so we've got Mercury. So this is information, messages, connections. Virgo could be about self-sufficiency, work, refinement in the second house, house of personal values, self-worth, income, pleasure. Yeah, interesting. And I love second house has a feminine vibe to it, and Virgo also has a feminine vibe to it. And I think there's like, just like trusting a little bit more in your instincts to refine your values, to refine the way you find pleasure. I think there's information coming in about this, literal information downloads, or just information through conversations you're having or something you watch or read, but there's information coming to you both from, you know, spirit that's downloaded, but also watch out for, you know, these other synchronistic things that kind of confirm it, whether it's, yeah, conversation, a book, synchronicity, but Mercury's really tied in here, wanting to doubly confirm messages coming through to you, sort of about, yeah, refining how you find pleasure and doing that through your intuitive, mysterious, wild self. Okay, let's pick a few more tarot cards to dive a little further in to see what's going on here. The Emperor, okay. Sort of some new order coming in, potentially. Oh, we have Seven of Cups, so options. Three of Cups, community, soul family. Let's see. Two more in here. They come just, your cards have just popped right out. Six of Cups and the Hanged Man. Okay. Yeah, you really do need to allow your perspective to trust in mystery, to trust in the depths, to trust in your soul leading you, even if you don't know why you're choosing to, you know, there's what I'm seeing here with these two cards is a new kind of order is feeling important to be established in your life. And you're feeling a spark to kind of like something's a new value or refinement of a value or a new need or want to instinctually and in your daily lifestyle connect with pleasure and beauty. I think that's feeling important, and from that value, it's like it's reordering aspects of your life. But there's a lot of options and directions and potentials coming up through this. And I think this all feels very exciting, but it's sort of like it's time to pick a direction with it. You can't do all the possibilities coming forward right now. And so look for the synchronicities. Look for information to help you to refine which of these possibilities to trust, and definitely really listen to your intuition, because not every possibility is what it seems in this circumstance. So you just like really need to trust the mystery. There's one that's really magnetizing you, and it may not be the most glamorous possibility, but there's a draw and there's a mystery and there's something that feels beautifully wild and strangely easy. You need to just pay attention to those signs so that you don't kind of let the right opportunity fade from your from access. It's here, but there's soul family coming in to help with this. So that could be where messages are coming. Notice who's really aligned with you, who's on the same page about something, who feels very supportive and they can bring things to the table. There's clues in that in terms of which possibilities are the most real and the most fertile. And yeah, it's really time to do some deep contemplation, some meditation to shake up your perceptions and perspective and really sink into your heart, sink into your intuition to find the right place. Because yeah, definitely not all possibilities are as they seem. There are some elements of illusion, and that could just be because there's so many possibilities. They're all blurring into each other, so they all seem more exciting. So it's sort of like you need to get still within, turn within, really organized, tap into that emperor ability to kind of organize and give order to things, sort of really segregate these possibilities, feel into each of them very individually, and feel into what information and what soul tribe people are connected and how aligned they are, how same page they are. And that you'll suddenly feel really clear about which possibility is the one to like really commit to and push forward. But yeah, it's going to not come from like a super completely logical place. There's a mysterious draw, and you need to pay attention to that and the synchronicities around that and follow that. And there's just like, yeah, a wealth of memories ready to be made here, wealth of soul tribe, your people, potentially bringing people from the past into this new future, into these new possibilities. Tapping into your memories from childhood too, as helping you to key in with your intuition into which of these possibilities that's coming up is connected to that deep happiness and aliveness for life that your inner child has. That's another exercise, like really do some meditation, get into your inner child and let your inner child explore these possibilities, and which ones is it wanting to play with, which ones feel imaginative and fertile and fun and exciting and makes it want to run and breathe deep and laugh, and tap into that. There's something there. Okay, we are going to get a message from the cycles of life through nature to see if there's, a metaphor there in terms of what's going on in your life and in terms of nature's cycle of life. So we've got Ivy in the reverse position. So this is going to be a dusk message versus a dawn message. I'm going to read this from the guidebook real quick. Okay, borrowing from Ivy's steady and determined perseverance, you have reached new heights, unfurling your leaves to the sun. The obstacles that blocked your way have become the ladder rungs that now hold you up, a testament to your journey so far. But that path beneath you is starting to crumble and you're beginning to wobble. It may feel as though your position is unstable, but don't be afraid to let go of your safety net below. The next step is within reach. And I think that's why you really need to trust your intuition is, this new ordering that's coming through with the Emperor, in connection to just like connecting in a daily rhythmic way to pleasure and self-worth and beauty. It's dissolving something about the way you've done life in the past. And so sometimes when we have to let go of aspects of the past, it can feel scary. But this is leading to nothing but being able to climb higher. And you have unconsciously laid so much groundwork to where you're going, and it's just trusting, because I think it is like you can see that next step. It's just that you're seeing the stuff underneath you going, but it's like, don't focus on that. This whole new order that's so much more beautiful and in sync with a pleasurable, valuable life that's refined and rhythmic, and it's just just trust that, just go for that. Reach for what you want, and don't get too concerned about what's dissolving, because you're just realigning, reordering your life to be just so much more flourishing and beautiful. So I think that's what's coming through that I want to pass on there. Okay, same thing, another cycle of life. We're going to find a message from the moon phases in connection to the cycles of life. So more of a cosmic cycle of life message. Beautiful. First quarter moon. Yeah, new beginning. And air, we're connecting into that Mercury again. There's a lot of ideas. I think this is like a moment of just like a lot of possibilities. And yeah, again, I mean, I'm repeating it over and over, but it's worth it. Like, your intuition is being drawn into a mystery that you really, it's magnetizing you. And it's time to, yeah, follow that mystery. Trust it. Your intuition has you. It's leading you somewhere much more fertile and beautiful, soulful. Adaptability is the suggestion here. So yeah, I mean, I think with all these possibilities, so much reordering coming in, a lot of potentially even new soul tribe, new community. I think some old, some new. You're needing to weave that somehow, but yeah, being flexible right now. Really paying attention to the messages, the qualities of connection, the qualities of synchronicity, the qualities of the magnetic draws you have to things. Get out of your head with it and let the possibilities and the ideas inspire something intuitively to move you forward rather than logically forward. Tap into your inner child with this. It will really help you come from a more imaginative place. And yeah, getting really still with that Hanged Man. There is an importance to really getting still and feeling into your heart and trusting what you feel within, because there are there are some little illusions here. So it's just time and worth the time to sit with things calmly and feel them and feel which one is just sort of right in your heart, not in the ways you're used to deciding if something's right. Just, let it sink into your heart. Okay, we are going to look at the tea leaf fortune cards now. Finger, warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. Okay, let's look at the others before we unpack that. Jug, lighthearted, carefree time. I feel that needing to just and then money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. Okay, so I think this warning of a problem either now or in your near future is that I love that it's like the finger, and it's, to me, I feel like it's kind of wanting to point towards all these Seven of Cups possibilities. And the problem is like, there is too much of a good thing and there's too many possibilities, and it's kind of paralyzing you in terms of which way do I go, which thing do I develop, what do I commit to. And yeah, we've already talked about how to deal with that, how to kind of narrow down which possibility is the best, which one to really flesh out, explore, and commit to and really work on. And there's something about easing up about this too. Don't get too stressed. Get into that inner child place where you're having fun. Recall childhood memories, nostalgia, kind of reminisce with people if you can. That might really reconnect you to your soul. Getting still about things, but also this Three of Cups, there's this soul family, and I think it's a mixture of new and old people that you're having to weave together, but being light with this, being playful with it, being a little carefree with it will allow the adaptability to come in and for natural connections to kind of sink. And I feel like this sort of soul family is coalescing around you, and you just need to give it time and ease and do some fun things to just let it organically kind of congeal. And that's also going to be a big help in seeing which possibility is really being supported by more than just what you want. It's all going to congeal. That's what I feel like. There's so many possibilities, but it's just like really being organic with this, whittling it down, seeing who shows up, connecting with your own soul through inner child work. being still to feel what's in your heart, looking for those messages, those conversations, information from books, whatever it is, little synchronicities are coming. And it's just about being flexible, being adaptable, because it's all, it's things are reordering, but it just takes time. And when it does, it will all become clear, and you'll know the path, you'll know what thing or things to really commit to and take forward. And there's there's at least one money path, if not two. Well, I just see one path here. I think one thing is really coalescing, at least for now, around this new order. And so that's a piece of information to look for synchronicities to. There's money on this path. So what seems to be attracting that, and that's a clue to what's right as well for this instance. Okay, last thing, we are going to pull a message of inspiration that is from the muses, but they're feeding it to us through our feathered friends, and just something, the muses just want to come in and inspire us. The flicker. New rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. Oh my gosh, can you believe that? You can't make that up. Adapting, new order, a new rhythm, so the new order with the Emperor and Virgo, I started sinking more and more into that being around your daily rhythms. So a refinement that comes through what we do ritualistically, rhythmically, day to day. It's a new order and a new rhythm are coming in, and it's leading to greater value and being adaptable, listening. There's messages, there's people, there's inner messages, inner child work. Just tune in. But really, the bullet point here is strength. And in this particular deck, that strength really coming from intuition and the dark, mysterious, feminine, magnetic place. Follow that. Follow the paths, the opportunities that seem to have value, that really enliven your inner child, that make you feel connected, that bring people together. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love this for you guys. Amazing. This is where I'm going to leave you for now, and I hope you enjoyed this. If it resonated, I definitely appreciate the thumbs up. It helps in so many different ways. It helps my algorithm, but it also helps me to know which readings you guys are connecting with, so that I can make sure to do readings you guys are liking. And definitely, if there were very specific things that were a hit for you, I love perusing comments to see those little things that stuck out. And definitely, if you are not subscribed yet, I love doing these collective readings. I love reaching so many people at once, and I love seeing how there's sort of these stories that collectively play out, which makes sense to me because I'm such an astrology buff, and there are people connected to different planets and energies, and that can have a collective effect with the collective really plugged into Mercury, or the collective really plugged into Virgo, or something. It makes sense to me, and I love reaching so many people, and I love reading for anyone and everyone. So please subscribe so I can do more for you. And yeah, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. All right, see ya. Hello, pile 4. Welcome to your reading all about some sort of urgent message from spirit and the muses and your higher self, just any of the things that can come in to get you this urgent message, whatever the access point is. There's something trying to get to you, and it could be about a current circumstance or inspiration that you're really needing, or that the universe wants you to have. So we'll just jump in and see what we find. And if this is you guys, you picked the Lapis Lazuli, and I definitely got a download just based off of your rock, which I didn't with the other 3. that there's something really intriguing and mysterious going on here with you guys, which is exciting to me. I love more mysterious readings, so we'll see what happens. Okay, we're going to put these tea leaves up here because we'll get to those a little later. And to start the reading, we are going to be pulling from this Major Arcana specific deck. It's done by a Spanish artist, to get sort of the category of life or the specific bullet point, sort of highlighting what this message might be pertaining to. Let's randomly pick one. Ooh, the moon. Yeah, I knew it. If there's a mysterious major arcana, it is the moon. There is something a little bit nebulous around you. Hard, it might be hard to see with clarity right now, but we can get some of that clarity by the reflections we get from others. But we'll dive into that a little more as we unpack this. But definitely like feminine energy, fantastical energy. I actually love that this has like, I think it's the, well, I don't know which one. It's one of those like mythic sea creatures. I don't know which one particular. Maybe it's just a made up one. But I love that it's got a wolf-like quality too. It's like baying at the moon. It's very fantastical and very mysterious. I love this particular moon card. So great. Okay, we're going to roll some astrology dice to hone in a little bit more about what this might be pertaining to. Again, the moon, second house, Virgo. Okay. Yeah, there's, this feels very connected to personal worth, personal, like a sense of self-worth. There's something maybe mystifying you here, or mystifying for you here. But there's also something incredibly fertile. So the moon in astrology is a little different than the moon card in tarot. The moon card in tarot is really related to Pisces, which is sort of fantasy and illusion and a bit of confusion and nebulous energy, but also quite artistic and inspired. And then the moon in astrology really connects more with the sign of Cancer, which is nurturing and deepening and connecting to soul and reflecting. So there's different dynamics of the moon we're seeing here. The moon as inspiring and fantastical and a little bit nebulous, and then the moon as nurturing and being a supporting force, a self-caring force, and there's something to do with values coming through. So there may be this message, I believe we're going to do some more tarot, so we'll unpack it a little bit more, but as of right now, the message I'm feeling is that you have a massive depth of imagination and inspiration that can add to the value of your life. But in order to harness this, in order to make it productive for you, you need to create personal practices here. So one example, and I think this could go in so many different ways, this is just one tiny example, is like maybe you are a fantasy writer and you have all these stories that are very inspiring that you want to tell that could make an income for you, but you have zero personal practice around this because you get a little bit lost and confused in how to structure this or make it coherent or Or even if, you know, you're able to make this story come to life, you don't know how to like get it out there. And there's something about creating a personal practice, a daily rhythm with this, really incorporating practice and rhythm with putting this to work every day, that is the key to really harnessing this and making it something that can produce value for you in your life. So that's the message I'm feeling coming through there. And it, you know, that was one example. Maybe you're same kind of thing, but you're a cook, or same kind of thing, but you're a interested in creative with money, you know, like whatever that is for you. There's some sort of inspired, imaginative thing going on that yeah, can really bring a lot of self-worth to you and financial value to your life, but you just like really needing to refine it and create very, very devoted daily practices around this. Okay, so we're gonna pick some tarot. Knight of Pentacles, yeah, it really has the ability, this thing in you, this imagination and inspiration that you hold, it really has some passion in you right now in terms of your material life, and it really is fertile at the moment in terms of the possibility of what it can do in terms of expanding your life financially. Yeah, you just really need to dig into daily practice here. Again, Hermit, that's developing personal instinct. So this is like, maybe you have some intimidation. You see other people doing this thing in a more professional, organized, structured, integral, at least in your eyes, way, and so you feel like you need more mentoring or more training, but there's something in you that cannot be taught, and you just have to develop this instinct that is yours alone. You already possess it, but you have to craft it, you have to refine it, and that is only done by daily practice. You really, yeah, you're really being called. You don't need other people's advice, you don't need more classes, you just need practice with your own instinct. You just need to make this part of your daily life. King of Wands, yeah. Well, I'm going to pull the other two cards before, because I could see this king going in several ways, but I want a little more context with it. Strength, beautiful. Ace of Pentacles, again, there's so much financial power here, you guys. Yeah. Definite urgent message of like, this is the exact right timing that you should be making personal practices here, because what you have and what you need to be harnessing and developing and refining and making more instinctual in you, that can't be taught. It's just by you doing it every day. It's really, it can change the quality of how you value yourself and the kind of material comfort you attract into your life. And it's saying you really need to, I love this strength coming out in connection with the Hermit. It's like you really need to trust your intuition and find the courage to dedicate. I feel like there's some fear in you guys, like you, that fantasy aspect of you connected to the Pisces moon, tarot moon quality is like, I think you see others doing this in a more fantastical way than is reality, and it's like, you're like, well, I could never be that. So there's just so much fear built up in you around really taking this seriously and really developing a daily personal devotion to it. because you think of everyone else that's been successful in this as like being a king, whereas you see yourself as like some weird creature or something. But that's a very fantastical vision. All they've done is create a daily devotion, and they refined themselves, and they went through hard work, and they had a personal instinct, which is what made them stand out. And you have the capability of doing this, and it's actually incredibly simple. You just have to devote yourself to a daily practice here. Find the courage to honor these gifts you have and really develop them through your own methods, through really listening to your instincts and certain qualities you have that aren't taught. They're just part of you, and you'll turn into this king. You'll reach that. It's possible for you. That's beautiful. I love that message. Okay, we are now going to tune in to the cycles of life through nature as a metaphor to see if there's a message about some aspect of nature's cycle of life that relates to where you're at right now, metaphorically. So foxglove in reverse. So that will be a dusk message versus a dawn, since it came out in reverse. So 18, I'm going to read this from the book. Okay, foxglove is one of the plants said to protect a babe against being replaced by a fairy changeling child. Perhaps you feel as though you do not recognize yourself anymore or the path that your life is taking, but it's not too late to grab hold of that stranger and banish them. Indulge in a pastime you haven't picked up for a while and take a walk down a familiar road to remind yourself of who you used to be. Or perhaps you like this new self that has emerged and want to embrace it. It is natural to change and grow, and so can your own identity. So this aspect of you, this fantastical, imaginative thing, maybe it's something you locked away for a while, or you just didn't know how to harness it. And I think this is the aspect of self really wanting urgently to step forward, because there's just like really fertile timing right now to develop it for some reason. And but there's just like a lot of fear and doubt around it, and it's time to kind of banish that voice within you and really find that courage, to take this seriously and to develop it and to give some practice to it. I love this. Okay, we are going to look again at a cycle of life, but now through cosmic connection. So like a moon, we're going to look at the moon phases and elements to bring a message here. Let's see, I'm wanting to find there's 3 kind of categories of cards in this deck, and there's a specific category I'm wanting to channel. So yeah, these ones. Okay, crescent, waxing, air, moon, shoots, idea. Yeah, this is like newly emerging. I mean, it's always been a part of you, but I think you've kind of like stuffed it in a closet or something, or you've just never really developed it. It's always kind of been this quirky thing about you, but you've never taken it seriously as like a huge asset to something that you can financially benefit from. And as you're suddenly feeling some new hope and some inspiration here in terms of ideas coming, and so in that cycle within the moon phase, it's like the light is inside of you and it's not strong enough to hold its own on the outside world yet. So you really need to keep this, nurture it within you, really get some things going and some courage and some practices going within you before you really talk about this to other people, bring things about it to the outside world. You're really needing to take care of it as this inner light for a couple months of whenever you start a daily practice, probably 2 months worth of doing that daily practice. You really need to keep that a little bit more inward and private in order to banish certain fears, certain insecurities, doubts, whatever it is, so that it can stand up to the test of the outer world. People questioning it, oppositions to it, whatever, you know, even people that are excited about it, that then you feel overwhelmed and by expectations, you know, like you really need to strengthen it within before you can bring it out to stand up to anything coming at it from the outside world. Okay, we are, oh my gosh, I've been forgetting, I think in the pile 2 and 3, I forgot to do these cards. That's okay. I did it in pile, oh my gosh, did I do it in pile 1? I don't know. You guys might be the only ones to get this. I had meant to do these cards, and I am just realizing I have at least forgotten to do it in pile 2 and 3, but I grabbed it, so we're going to do it anyway. And it's a message from the Priestesses of Light, so just sort of like a blessing coming through from the goddesses. Clairvoyance, inspiration, intrepidation, trust. And I think this is trusting your inspiration, trusting that you have a gift, trusting that this is something you need to devote yourself to, that it can become something. Yeah, it's just wanting to give you a little pep talk there, that you have a gift of inspiration, and it's something that you need to trust and commit to, really take more seriously. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. We are now going to do the tea leaves, and you guys ended up 4 cards came out for you guys instead of 3, and it just felt right to take them. So you have a couple extra cards than some of the readings. That's just what happened. Dog, far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. That's beautiful. Maybe there's someone from your past or that you know that's moved away that brings up their thinking of you, connects you to them, and they have memories of you or associations with you of considering you very imaginative and inspiring. And because you're sort of clairvoyant, I think you can feel when people are thinking of you. And so maybe there is that sort of even though you're not really bringing or advised to bring this out into the open world, maybe there's another friend at a distance that's a bit clairvoyant and feels it and is, you can feel that and it feels supportive. Dealings or relationship with a woman. Okay, so maybe you are I still maintain that your particular instinct is something you need to develop on your own and that only you can develop, but it never hurts to get mentors and classes and different ways of seeing and thinking of things. So maybe there's going to be like a female mentor or encourager. It might be this faraway person that synchronistically says something about how imaginative and inspiring you are. Maybe it's just like a message from a female in general that way. But yeah, some woman is, connected here, and I think in a positive way has some sort of encouragement or support or mentoring. Elephant, a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. I think this is the long journey, committing to really refining and practicing and taking seriously these gifts you have could take you on journeys, or the development of it is a journey in itself. Sometimes those mirror each other. As we go on a journey of developing something, it sets us off on journeys in our outer world too. So I find incredibly exciting. I hope you guys too. And we see the Knight here too. The Knight's love journeys. So yeah, this is a really big opening. I think that's why the urgent message is right now is there's an opening, a fertile opening right now to set off on this journey. A path is opening to be able to start a journey with this in a really beautiful, productive way. And then Cain, pay attention to your health. Yeah, tapping into Virgo with that. I would say Cancer and the Pisces association with the tarot card of the moon can be kind of worriers, a little emotional, which can have effect on our health. So I would say, like, because we saw the Strength card coming out, I also feel like there's some fear in you guys around this. And fear, yeah, I mean, it really can plague our health. So nourish yourself, give yourself pep talks. Think about this in the way of not being result driven, but being journey driven, process driven, doing it because you love the process of it, of the journey it takes you on, without having expectations of where it might take you or what it might do for you or who's gonna connect to this thing or care. Put those things away. Try to let those fade into the background and really connect into doing this because you love the process, because you like doing it, because it opens you up to journeys. I think if you can really sink into the Virgo-ness of this being a process that's just something that has rhythm that you love just for you, for your own feeling of wholeness and refining, just for yourself. That's all you need. Yeah. So that's what I'd say there. Okay, one last message. We're going to get a message, a very simple message of inspiration from the muses, delivered through our winged friends, through the birds. Let's see what comes through for you. Falcon, use your keen perception and skill in making decisions. Do not delay. Yeah, I feel like you're good at making decisions about everything but this as like imaginative, inspiring aspect of yourself. And you need to get more assertive with this part of you. I think it gets a little bit meandering and lost. And so because in so many other ways you're great at making decisions and this thing is hard for you to see more clearly, that's, I think, a big reason why it's felt scary to you and why you haven't been assertive and taking decisive actions with it. But it's saying, just, even if it's hard to understand and harness, just, don't delay. Just do something with this. Really put it into practice, and that clarity will come because there's, so much self-worth and potential, income and value and pleasure and ease is possible here. So don't delay. Get on this. The path, it's like, I feel like why this is urgent is there's like a window right now to really, whatever concoctions of planets and connection to the season you have, it's like this beautiful, fertile window to commit and start this path that doesn't last forever. I think these openings come, here and there, but they come and they go. And right now timing is right. Timing is right to commit to this and do something with this thing that you've always felt you're supposed to do something with and been a little scared of. So do it. Don't delay. That's the inspiration being given. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this connected and resonated with you. I definitely appreciate the thumbs up for multiple reasons. It helps my algorithm, but it also allows me to understand which readings people are connecting with, and so which ones to do more often or do similar ones to. I also really enjoy reading your comments. I try to peruse those every once in a while, and it's fun to see specific things that jump out, especially because it's collective reading, so it's being absorbed so differently by everyone listening, and internalizing it and personalizing it for each of you is fun to see how that happens, because it's always in ways I would never imagine, so it's really cool. And definitely subscribe if you have not yet. I love collective readings more than any other kind of reading. I just love being able to reach anyone and everyone, and I definitely, being sort of an astrology buff, believe in collective energies and collective types of stories that we play out, and these kinds of readings make a lot of sense to me, so I really enjoy them. So yes, please subscribe, because I want to read for all of you. Yeah, all right, see you guys.